Hari Jaya Kunda
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare
Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. ISKCON founder Acharya, BBD founder Acharya, Savior of the whole universe, Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivrajakacharya Stotra Shata. His Divine Grace Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Anantapuri Vaishnav Vrinda ki jai. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai. Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Om. All glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories and glories and glories to Shri Guru and Gauranga, Shri Prabhupada ki jai. A humble request, if you're carrying your mobile phone, I would request you to, if possible, put it off. But sometimes, for some of us, it is not possible to put it off. You can put it in the silent mode, that we appreciate it. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Taram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jaya Mudiraje Nasapraishu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavatam Sevaya Prabhutirtama Shloki Bhaktir Bhavati Naistiki Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangulam Gayatim Grim Yat Kripatamaham Bande Shri Kurutantaranam Paramanandam Madhavam Shri Chaitanya Ishwaram. That's it. Hare Krishna. So we'll continue our reading from Bhagavad Gita, chapter 2, text number 70, 71 and 72. So we will read the shloka number 70. It's there on the board here. And read the purport and translation and purport, and then followed by reading the translation and purport of shloka number 71 and 72. Apuryamanam Achala Pratistham Samudram Apa Pravishyanti Yadvat Tadvat Kama Yam Pravishyanti Sarve Sa Santim Apnoti Na Kamakami Apuryamanam Achala Pratishayanti Samudram Apa Pravishyanti Yadvat Tadvat Kamayam Pravishyanti Sarve Sasantim Apnoti Na Kamakami Apuryamanam Achala Pratisthatam Samudram Apa Pravishyanti Yadvat Tadvat Kamayam Pravishyanti Sarve Sasantim Apnoti Na Kamakami. Some of the devotees can read the shloka. Apuryamanam achala
समुद्रमापः प्रविशन्ति यद्वत्
Samudramapavishyanti yatra
तद्वत् कामायं प्रविशन्ति सर्वे स शान्तम् आप्नोति न कामकामी
Anybody from the Mataji side would like to chant the shloka?
Apuryamanam achalam pratishtam samudramapah pravishanti yadvat tadvat kamayam pravishanti sarve sashanti mapnoti na kamakami
Word translation. Apuryamanam. Please repeat after me, I'm sorry. Apuryamanam. Always being filled. Achala pratistam. Steadily situated. Samudram. The ocean. Apa. Waters. Pravishanti. Enter. Yatvat. As. Tatvat. So. Kama. Desires. Yam. Unto whom. Pravishanti. Enter. Sarve. All. Saha. That person. Santim. Peace. Apnoti. Achieves. Na. Not. Kamakami. One who desires to fulfill desires. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, Jai Srila Prabhupada. Translation. A person who is not disturbed by the incessant flow of desires that enter like rivers into the ocean, which is ever being filled but is always still, can alone achieve peace, and not the man who strives to satisfy such desires. Please repeat the translation after me. A person who is not disturbed by the incessant flow of desires that enters like water into the ocean, which is ever being filled but is still always still, can alone achieve peace, and not the man who strives to satisfy such desires. Purport. Although the vast ocean is always filled with water, it is always, especially during the rainy season, being filled with much more water, but the ocean remains the same, steady. It is not agitated, nor does it cross beyond the limit of its brink. That is also true of a person fixed in Krishna consciousness. As long as one has the material body, the demands of the body for sense gratification will continue. The devotee, however, is not disturbed by such desires because of his fullness. A Krishna conscious man is not in need of anything because the Lord fulfills all his material necessities. Therefore, he is like an ocean, always full in himself. Desires may come to him like the water of the rivers that flow into the ocean, but he is steady in his activities, and he is not even slightly disturbed by the desires for sense gratification. That is the proof of Krishna conscious man. One who has lost all his inclinations for the material sense gratification, although the desires are present, because he remains satisfied in the transcendental loving service of the Lord, he can remain steady like the ocean and therefore enjoy full peace. Others, however, who want to fulfill desires even up to the limit of liberation, what to speak of material success, never attain peace. The fruitive workers, the salvationists, and also the yogis who are after mystic power all of them are unhappy because of unfulfilled desires. But the person in Krishna consciousness is happy in the service of the Lord, and he has no desire to fulfill. In fact, he does not even desire liberation from the so-called material bondage. The devotees of Krishna have no material desires, and therefore they are all in perfect peace. We will also continue the purport and translation for 71 and 72. Prabhu, I'll mute your laptop because I think I don't have those two shlokas with me. Shloka number 71. We will read the translation and purport in the paucity of time. Translation for Shloka number 71. A person who has given up all desires for sense gratification, who lives free from desires, who has given up all sense of proprietorship and is devoid of false ego, he alone can attain real peace. Purport to 71st Shloka. To become desireless means not to desire anything for sense gratification. I repeat, please read this hear this very carefully. To become desireless means not to desire anything for sense gratification. In other words, desire for becoming Krishna conscious is actually desirelessness. To understand one's actual position as the eternal servant of Krishna without falsely claiming this material body to be oneself and without falsely claiming proprietorship over anything in the world is the perfect stage of Krishna consciousness. One who is situated in this perfect stage knows that because Krishna is the proprietor of everything, everything must be used for satisfaction of Krishna. Arjuna did not want to fight for his own sense satisfaction, but when he became fully Krishna conscious, he fought because Krishna wanted him to fight. For himself, there was no desire to fight, but for Krishna, the same Arjuna fought to his best ability. Real desirelessness is desire for satisfaction of Krishna, not an artificial attempt to abolish desires. The living entity cannot be desireless or senseless, but he does not have to change the quality of the desires. A materially desireless person certainly knows that everything belongs to Krishna. Ishvarasya idam sarvam, and therefore he does not falsely claim proprietorship over anything. This transcendental knowledge is based on self-realization, namely knowing perfectly well that every living entity is the eternal part and parcel of Krishna in spirituality, in spiritual identity, and that the eternal position of the living entity is therefore never on the level of Krishna or greater than him. This understanding of Krishna consciousness is the basic principle of real peace. We will also continue the 72nd shloka. Translation. That is the way of spiritual and godly life, after attaining which a man is not bewildered. If one is thus situated even at the hour of death, one can enter into the kingdom of God. Purport to 72nd shloka. One can attain Krishna consciousness or divine life at once within a second, and one may not attain such a state of life even after millions of births. It is only a matter of understanding and accepting the fact. Katwanga Maharaj attained this state of life just a few minutes before his death by surrendering unto Krishna. Nirvana means ending the process of materialistic life. According to Buddhist philosophy, there is only void after the completion of this material life. But Bhagavad Gita teaches differently. Actual life begins after the completion of this material life. For the gross materialist, it is sufficient to know that one has to end his materialistic way of life. But for persons who are spiritually advanced, there is another life after the materialistic life. Before ending this life, if one fortunately becomes Krishna conscious, he at once attains the stage of Brahma Nirvana. There is no difference between the kingdom of God and the devotional service of the Lord, since both of them are on the absolute plane. To be engaged in transcendental loving service of the Lord is to have attained the spiritual kingdom. In the material world, there are activities of sense gratification, whereas in the spiritual world, there are activities of Krishna consciousness. Attainment of Krishna consciousness, even during the life, is immediate attainment of Brahman. And one who is situated in Krishna consciousness has certainly already entered into the kingdom of God. Brahman is just the opposite of matter. Therefore, Brahmi Sthiti means not on the platform of material activities. Devotional service of the Lord is accepted in Bhagavad Gita as the liberated stage. Saguna Samatityan Brahma Bhuya Kalpate. Therefore, Brahmi Sthiti is liberation from material bondage. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur has summarized the second chapter of Bhagavad Gita as being the content for the whole text. In Bhagavad Gita, the subject matter of Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga and Bhakti Yoga. In the second chapter, Karma Yoga and Jnana Yoga have been clearly discussed, and a glimpse of Bhakti Yoga has also been given as the content for the complete text. Thus ends the Bhaktivedanta purport to second chapter of Srimad Bhagavad Gita in the matter of its content. Om Tat Sat Om Ajnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshururmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah Shri Chaitanya Manobhistam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatham Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Radita Shri Vishakamitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyasya Vasindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namane Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharane Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatadini Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shrivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. First of all, I seek blessings of all of you sitting here so that I can speak whatever is written in the Shastras and not speak anything other than that. A very nice ending of the chapter that we see here, the second chapter, and it is giving us a lot of insight as to how a human life has to be. A simple example is given on the first sloka, that is 70th sloka. It is talking about, what is it talking about? It's talking about an ocean. And we've all seen ocean, despite the rivers flowing through from so many parts, the ocean is never disturbed. Have you ever seen ocean overflowing? No, rivers overflow. They cross the brink and then go out. But oceans don't overflow. They are always still, despite the amount of water that comes in. And it is always same whether it is rainy season, because rainy season the oceans get a lot of water. One is it's raining from top. Also the rivers which are coming and merging into the ocean get in a lot of water because there's a lot of water flowing into the rivers from elsewhere. Also, if you see in the season of summer, the ocean is similar. It is equipoised. It doesn't really have too much of turbulence. So that is a lesson which is taught to us, saying that a Krishna conscious person does not get really bewildered even if it is sunshine or rain. Even in tough times or even in good times. So you don't get carried away in the good times. You get a promotion and then you say, okay, I'm all for it. And when you probably lose your job, then you end up having miseries in life. No. A Krishna conscious person is always equal, whether it is miseries or happiness. He doesn't really care as to what happens, because ultimately he realizes that whatever is happening because of the power of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. We've all heard this very nice understanding, saying that not even a blade of grass can move without the consent of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So what to talk about our jobs or our miseries or happiness in life? And a lot of people ask about how do we get happiness? happiness is all about our prarabdha karmas, and so is the miseries that we get. We many times see that good people suffer. For us, they are good people, right? Externally, when we meet them, or when we greet them, or when we have the connection over a period of time, or when we have been seeing them for so many years, you always feel that they are very good people. And when miseries come to them, or when they have some kind of difficulties, we say, why Krishna, you've given difficulties to good people? Right? Do you get this question in our mind? We do get this question many times. And sometimes, I'm sure we see notorious people having all kinds of facilities. Yeah? They are not good in their characters, they are not good in their deeds, they are not good in their behavior, but still, they have all the facilities of life, all the comforts of life, all the Aishwarya of life. That time also you feel, okay, why is this happening? But now this is all because of our prarabdha karma. How many of us here don't believe that I'm not a soul? Anybody here? Okay, so that makes our life a little more simpler here. All of us understand that we are the spirit soul and we are part and parcel of Krishna. Right? So that's the first understanding. The bodily covering that we see on us is temporary, and this is not going to last for long. It may last you for how many years? 60, 70. In India, the average age is about 74. Okay, if you have done well, or if you have good karmas of your previous life, then you may last for about 100 years, 105, 110 maximum, not beyond that. But then, after that, you have to lose this body. You have to give away this body. Something like that, you're wearing a cloth, I'm wearing a kurta, over a period of time it gets worn off. It gets worn off. And then what do? I just change it. I buy a new one and throw this away. Likewise, it's the same with our body. The body, after a certain period of time, perishes. The soul sitting into the body continues. There's something called transmigration of the soul. Soul continues from one body to another body to another body to another body. Now this continues till the time that you get liberated. Liberation is going back home, back to Godhead. Why are we here? Have you asked any question? Has anybody asked that question? How did I come to earth? We've all heard that we don't belong here. How many of us feel that we belong here? None of us feel that we belong here. But still we are here. Have you ever thought that how did I come here, or why did I come here? These are basic questions. I'm sure you may not want to raise your hand in public, but we all have asked these questions to ourselves. I've asked it to myself, saying that if I don't belong here, how did I come here? Did I drop by chance? Or was I forced to come here? Or what was the reason that I came here to this material world? The only reason, envy. Okay, perfect answer. So I'm saying we were envious. We were all a part of Golok Vrindavan. We were all serving Krishna very nicely. We were doing our service very well. But unfortunately, one day, what happens is a thought comes to my mind saying that Krishna is enjoying everything. He's getting all the opulence. Whatever is cooked there in Vrindavan is first offered to Krishna. Yeah? Whatever new fruits come is first offered to Krishna. Why not to me? Yeah? That means we became envious of Krishna. And we did not realize that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. In that envious nature, we said, I also want to be Krishna. Or I want to be equal to Krishna. And Krishna, like a very sweet father, probably allowed us once or twice to say that. But the third time, when he felt that, you've been asking for it, he says, Tathastu, go down. Go down to the material world, enjoy. You want to be the boss? You want to be the supreme? Try that out in the material world. And that's how we've come here. We've come here because we were envious of Krishna, because we wanted to be independent of Krishna, we wanted to enjoy on our own rather than serving Krishna. So that's one small mistake that we did. Sometimes we say, why such a big punishment for a small mistake? We did that small mistake. We thought it was a small mistake, but it was not big. It was not small, it was very big. Comparing yourself with Krishna or equating yourself with Krishna is the biggest of the possible mistakes. So Krishna then allows us to come down, and then that's how we've been all struggling here. Now there's a great advantage here when we are born in Kali Yuga. Kali Yuga is the age of hypocrisy. It's the age where there's a lot of quarrel, there's a lot of problems that we face. If we hear about the other yugas, Satyuga, Treta Yuga, Dwapar Yuga, life was not this difficult. I'm sure we've not seen it ourselves. Sometimes it would have been there, but we don't remember it. Krishna has taken away our remembrance for our betterment only. We've heard this in our Shastras, and Shastras, why is it called Sanatan? Have you pondered over it? What is Sanatan? Eternal. Yeah, it's always there. So that's eternal. Shastras are Sanatan, and Sanatan, Shastras tell us that, the life in Dwapar Yuga was good, in Treta Yuga was good, and in Kali Yuga it is not all that good. But we've got this big boon of appearing in, or probably taking birth in Kali Yuga, because Kalirdosha Niderajan, Astyoika Mahaguna. This Kali Yuga is not a great time, but somehow it has got one small advantage, and that small advantage is multiplied or really made big by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the avatara which came in the Kali Yuga. And he said, just by chanting the holy name of the Lord, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Just by chanting this holy name, 16 syllables, you can go back home, back to Godhead. You don't need to do anything. You have to just chant this holy name. And sometimes people will say, if I have to only chant, then why do I come like this on Sunday? Yeah, or why do I go to temples, or why do I read Shastras? The problem with us is that if you are not associating with like-minded people, you will even forget to chant your rounds. Have some of us experienced it? I can tell you, in my initial days of my Krishna consciousness, I would even forget to chant my rounds. Yeah, because my association at that time, and because of that chanchala swabhav of that age, school days and college days, I would forget to chant my rounds, and then in the evening that I would realize that I have not chanted my rounds, and then again I say, okay, I have to chant. Sometimes I would forget it even for 2-3 days. So it is very important that we associate with like-minded people, and when we associate with like-minded people, they will ask you, have you chanted your rounds? Okay. So that is where we look at associating with devotees, coming on a Sunday like this or on a festival day and associating with them. So I will go back to our subject matter today. I just wanted to give you a little glimpse of what is the reason that we are here, and how is that easy in Kali Yuga to go back. Again, coming back to the discussion on the ocean, we said the ocean is always filled, whether it is rainy season or it is summer season. It does not really, it's very calm and quiet. Yeah, it does not cross the borders that it is required. And likewise in the shloka, Srila Prabhupada says, same is with the person in Krishna consciousness. And Srila Prabhupada makes this statement, as long as one has the body will have demand, and the demand of sense gratification will always continue. But a person who is in Krishna consciousness will never be disturbed. Why? Because of his fullness. There is a very nice example. It's a story. It's a true story. This happened in a college, group of students studying there, and there was a competition which was held. And the competition was asking a group of students to see how they can avoid eating something. They were given food stuff, and they were asked, how much can you control? How much can you avoid eating? And this competition happened, and there was one winner finally. So the winner was asked a few questions. They interview the winners, generally. So the winner was called aside and they were interviewing him. And they said, well, I keep seeing you in the college that you keep eating whatever you get in your hand. If somebody offers you chips, you eat that. If somebody offers you a chocolate, you eat that. I see you in the cafeteria, whatever you get, you eat. You're always eating. And how is that during this time, when the competition happened, you were completely controlled. And you won the competition because you did not even touch anything, despite giving you a variety of dishes and something which you like the most. So this person who won the competition said, yeah, I'm very fond, I'm a foodie, I'm very fond of eating. But then what I did just before the competition is, I ate up to the brim. Yeah, so I was full. If you eat full, if you like, rasagulla, probably you would eat one. Maybe if somebody forces you, you may eat two. If somebody really forces you on a festival day, you may eat 5. But 5 is your maximum capacity. If somebody comes and tells you to eat the 6th one, what do you say? No, I have had enough. I can't eat anymore. Yeah. So this person ate to his heartful, to the brim. He said, I ate so much that even the slightest of the sight of the food, I would feel like removing it out. So he said, I wouldn't touch anything because I know if I take anything in my mouth, even a single morsel, I will probably bring it out. So the understanding behind this is saying that if you are full, if you are full in Krishna consciousness, if you are so happy in Krishna consciousness, which is what is the quality of Krishna consciousness, that it gives you fullness. Your desire for any material requirement or a desire for anything else will completely die out. You will not want, despite your being there in the material world, you will not want to enjoy any of those senses because your senses are full. They are all dovetailed. Now, what is the meaning of dovetailing senses? Let's take, we were talking about eating, so let's take an example of eating. I'm very fond of, say, samosas. If I eat samosa as it is, then it becomes a material attachment. Yeah, when I eat bhoga, it's being made at the shop, I pick it up and eat, then that's sense gratification. But when I make the samosa at home, or I ask my wife to make the samosa at home, offer it to Jagannath, Baldev and Shubhadramai, and then honor it as prasadam, then that's the dovetailment of Krishna consciousness, in Krishna consciousness. I'm still eating the samosa, right? I'm still enjoying the samosa. But what am I doing?
First
offering to God. And it becomes prasadam for you. Likewise, there are many things that we can do. Yeah? If somebody is very fond of music, we have this young devotee who was playing Vedanga so nicely. He was leading the Kirtan so nicely. These are all children who are very inclined towards music. Allow them to learn Kirtan, allow them to play, instruments which are used for bhakti, rather than allowing them to, go for rock and roll and, the Tollywood, Bollywood, whatever. Yeah. So if you dovetail it, then it becomes Krishna conscious. At the same time, whatever talent that one has, you have a talent to read and speak, you read Bhagavad Gita and talk about it to others. In whatever we do, if we dovetail it, then it is Krishna consciousness. You don't get reactions to it. Yeah? If I had eaten the samosa directly, I would have reactions because it is not offered to the Lord. Everything belongs to Lord. Yeah? There's one particular shloka where Krishna says very clearly, Bhoktaram Yajna Tapasam. He is the one who supplies everything and he's supposed to be getting it back. But if you start taking it yourself, you're repeating the same mistake again. You did that mistake while you were there in Golok Vrindavan, and then you come down and again do the mistake. So that's shloka number 29 of 5th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. So one who understands Krishna consciousness and one who is full of Krishna consciousness can actually be very happy in life. In Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Leela 19.149 shloka, it talks about Krishna Bhakta Nishkama Ateva Santa Bhukti Mukti Siddha Kami Sakali Asanta. So the translation to this goes says, because a devotee of Lord Krishna is desireless. When we read the purport to 71 and 72, we also spoke about desirelessness. So we confirming that because of a devotee of Lord Krishna is desireless, he is peaceful. How many of us want to be peaceful? Everybody. I don't see anybody who doesn't want to be peaceful. And I've heard people going to the temple, various temples, and praying that, please give me peace of mind. How many of us pray? I'm sure a lot of us pray that, right? Give me peace of mind. So here, the answer to it is straightforward. It is given in our Shastras, it is given in Bhagavad Gita, and now Chaitanya Charitamrita also confirms it. He says, because a devotee of Lord is desireless, he is peaceful. Fruitive workers desire material enjoyment. Material enjoyment means something which is separate from Krishna. So fruitive workers desire material enjoyment. Jnanis desire, what do the Jnanis desire? Those who have knowledge, they desire liberation. And what do the yogis desire? Material opulence. And therefore, they are all lusty and they can never be peaceful. Yeah, as we go forward, we realize it's very nice. These four kind of people are described here, and those, especially the Jnanis, the yogis, and the fruitive workers, karmis, are absolutely unpeaceful. The only person who is peaceful is a bhakta, a devotee. Yeah? So, a devotee of Krishna has no desire other than serving Krishna. Whatever you do. You've heard of name of Raghunath Das Goswami? Yeah. Raghunath Das Goswami, his earlier name was Raghunath. Raghunath was from a very, very rich family. And this rich family had so much of opulence in Bengal that he would send his, laborers or workers or his servants to far off places to get nice fruits, nice foodstuffs, and then offer it to the Lord. And even if a speck of dust falls on it, he would discard it. That is the kind of bhakti that he had. And because he thought the best should go to the Lord. Only best can be offered to the Lord. So that is the reason that a devotee does not desire anything other than serving the Lord. And he wants to give the best to the Lord. Yeah. So, likewise, the fruitive workers, they desire a better life. They say, you want to, extend a very small story. There was this gentleman called, I'm just giving it a name to make it more, more understanding. A gentleman called Prakash Patel, 5 years boy. And this man Patel, when he was 5 years old, Narad Muni comes in front of him and he says, Prakash, let's go home. So he says, Narad Muni, I'm still only a 5 years boy. Give me some time. My parents have not even enjoyed my childhood. What I'll do is come back after 20 years and I'll come back. So Narad Muni comes for what? Liberation. Yeah, when he comes, he wants devotees to, or he wants people at large who are devotees of the Lord to go back home. So he says, come back after 20 years. So Narad Muni says, okay. And Narad Muni is very paka. Exactly after 20 years he lands there. So that is the 25th year of Prakash. Says, Patel Saab, chalo. So he says, Narad Muni, I just got married. I've just started earning. You see that beautiful car, Mercedes-Benz lying outside? I just purchased it some time back. And my wife, she's just pregnant. Give me some more time. Give me another 25 years. I'll wrap up everything and then go back home, back to Godhead. So Narad Muni says, you sure? I say, yeah, I'm very sure. Come back after 25 years. and I'll ensure that, I complete everything and then I go back. Prakash is really engrossed in his life with his wife, his children. He has another child. Business is growing. Becomes a multimillionaire. On the 50th year, exactly on that predestined time, Narad Muni comes there and says, Prakash, chalo. Narad Muni, I have not enjoyed my grandchildren. My son is just about to get married. Give me some more time. My business is flourishing. At this age, if I just leave everything and go, my children will not be able to manage the business. I've done it with great efforts. Let's do one thing. You come back to me after another 20 years. So Narad Muni says, are you sure you want me to come back after 20 years? He says, yes. No, 100%. By then everything will be settled in life. Narad Muni comes exactly on the 70th year and says, Prakash, chalo. भगवत धाम चलते हैं. प्रकाश says, अरे इतना सब कुछ बनाया ऐसे कैसे छोड़ के जा सकता? How can I leave everything? Not practical. Just do one thing. Give me only 5 more years, not beyond 5 years. Just 5 years. Now, in the past I've taken much longer, but this time it is only 5 years. I just have a few things to manage. Narad Muni comes again on the 75th year, knocks the door of Prakash's house. His wife opens the door. She's in white clothing and she's crying. What does it mean? Prakash has already left his body. What happened to Prakash? Nobody knows. Narad Muni sits down there and there's a dog which comes there. And the dog starts speaking to Narad Muni. He says, Narad Muni, Narad Muni. Narad Muni is shocked. He says, who are you? Narad Muni, I am Prakash Patel. I was to come with you on 75th year. So he says, okay, everything is over now. This is 75 years over, 75th year. What happened to you? You're born as a dog. So he says, now you're born as a dog. Let's go now. I'll take you home, even in this form of life. He says, no, who'll take care of the house that I built?
Oh my God.
Who'll take care of all the properties that I've done? Narad Muni says, this is not correct. You should go back. No, give me a little more time. If once they are capable of managing everything, I will come with you. After this, after 5 years of that, Narad Muni again comes there and sees that this dog is also dead. And Prakash takes birth as a snake in the house. And he is actually protecting the properties of what he made 80 years back. All that he started making it 80 years back. Narad Muni feels that he had an opportunity at the age of 5, had an opportunity at the age of 25, 50, 70, 75, 80. He still didn't make use of it. And then Narad Muni goes and tells his son, saying that there's a snake in your garden. And his sons come out and kill the snake. So what is the moral of the story? If you think that the world belongs to you, if you think that the world is going to take care of you, your own family members will kill you. Right? I'm not demotivating anybody. But please understand, we don't belong here. Once you've got fullness in your heart, once you've got bhakti, that's the right time. If somebody like Narad Muni comes and wants to take you back home, don't leave their hand. Hold their dhoti. We all say in our movement, we say even if you hold the dhoti of Srila Prabhupada, our founder Acharya, you will go back home, back to Godhead. That's a statement which is given by Srila Prabhupada himself, saying that even if you hold my dhoti, you will go back home, back to Godhead. What to talk about, associating with devotees, talking to them and hearing from them, having the conversation about Krishna consciousness. It is very important before the time really passes from your hand that you realize that this body is very temporary. And we all have to leave our bodies. So, sorry, I'm taking you a little away from the conversation which I actually wanted to have, but The shlokas which are coming in the way are all so interesting that it's important and it gives us so many understandings, and I don't want to miss any understanding that I have here. Yeah, so those who always worship me with exclusive devotion, meditation on my transcendental form, to them I carry what they lack and I preserve what they have. This is shloka from Bhagavad Gita 9.22. Krishna confirms this, saying that if you have got something, he will protect it. And if you lack something, then he will give it to you. Anyas chitnayanto mam yejana pariyutte tesham nityam tam yoga shemam vahamyam. We've heard only the last line, right? Many times we've heard this, but some of us don't remember the whole shloka. Yoga shemam vahamyam. So when you become devotee of the Lord, why is this example of the ocean given? Why a devotee is compared to an ocean? It's because Krishna maintains us. He takes care of all of us. Try this out. Sometimes we feel I am the doer. Yeah, I can take my own example. I say that, if I am not there, the company will not run. Just get out of your space. Do this one exercise sometime when you're alone at home. Close your eyes, put your hands on your lap at home. You may try it later because this will take some time. But try this. You will have a better understanding. Put your hands on your lap. Sit in a very comfortable position. And think that you have left this world. Yeah, you are no more in this world. How will things go on? What will your son do? What will your wife do? What will your husband do? What will your father do? What will your organization do? What will your friends do? And that will give you the right result. If you don't realize that this life, if you don't spend it worthily, because it's a very difficult state of affair to get another human form of life. You've done some real good karmas to get human form of life. And human form of life is the only form of life from where you can go back home, back to Godhead. No other form you can go back. If somebody is born as a dog, that dog has to come to human form and then go back. If you think not today, I will try sometime else, maybe next lifetime, cross your fingers. You don't know whether next time you will get human form of life or not. You may be born as a cat, you may be born as that snake, and your own family will kill you. Or you may be born as that dog, just protecting the house. It may sound a little heavy now, but think about it at ease, at peace, while you're sitting alone. If I don't complete whatever I have taken vow for this lifetime, I may have to struggle. I see some of our seniors sitting here. I can also talk from my experience. 40 years back, 50 years back, the life was much easier. We were all more peaceful. Right? Do you agree, Prabhu? Life was better 50 years back, 60 years back? Definitely. Yeah. So, at least for me, I'm sure it is the experience with everybody. We were all very peaceful. We didn't have idiots like this who could trouble you 24/7. Yeah? We had a very peaceful life. At least for me, I knew I didn't want to have a phone at home, the wired phone. Landline was also not there when I was born. So, and it was so simple. Every evening my father would come back in time and we would sit together and have dinner prasadam together. Today the father comes at 10 o'clock, the son is already gone to sleep. He wakes up in the morning, goes to the school, and the father is still sleeping. So when he meets on a Sunday, his father, if somebody asks him who's that person, so he says that's uncle who comes on a Sunday. These are facts. Yeah. So life is going to be even more difficult as the advancement of this age happens, Kali Yuga. This is the right time that we take up to Krishna consciousness and proceed so that we complete this lifetime. Therefore, devotees are full in themselves because Krishna has given them that. And Srila Prabhupada makes this very important statement that We feel that devotees don't have desires, they don't have wants. No, that's wrong. Devotees have desire, they have wants. But Srila Prabhupada made the statement, one who has lost the inclination for all material sense gratification. Please underline this. He said one who has lost inclination for all material sense gratification, although the desires are present in him. So I may have a desire, or all of you may have a desire that you want to travel. But if you have a desire to travel to Vrindavan Dham, you have a desire to travel to Jagannath Puri Dham, you have a desire to travel to Dwarika Dham, that's a nice desire. So your material inclination is gone, and that's how you become Krishna conscious. When you see a nice fruit, what do you say? Oh, beautiful fruit, can I offer it to Krishna? And then let my family honor it. The inclination towards material desire is gone. You still have the desire. There is nobody here who does not have desire. Even Srila Prabhupada said himself that he had desires. But what was Srila Prabhupada's desire? To fulfill the orders of his spiritual master, his divine grace, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Maharaj, saying that preach to the English speaking crowd or go to the Western world and publish my books. These are two things that were underlying for Srila Prabhupada. He did have desire. What was his desire? That I have to preach to English speaking people and I have to publish books, because that's the order of my Guru Maharaj. But there was no material inclination in that. That is why devotee is full. How do we say that devotees are full? We don't say they are desireless, they have desire. But their inclination is not material. There are thousands and thousands of waves coming in the ocean, but still doesn't get disturbed. Likewise, a devotee also gets thousands and thousands of thoughts in their mind, desires in their mind, but he's never disturbed because he knows he's doing it for a cause, he's doing it for an ultimate purpose. Yes, I gave you, okay, how much time do we have, Prabhu? Is it 6 now? 6. Another 10 minutes? 10, 15 minutes, okay, thank you. So a person who's in Krishna consciousness, he actually remains in transcendental service of the Lord and does not get attached. Yeah. Today I'm sitting here, I'm giving a class, I should not get attached sitting that I should be coming here every Sunday and giving class. I shouldn't be taking away that opportunity for others to speak. So I don't get attached. Practice attachment with detachment within our material life also. Please love your family. By saying so, your family will kill you. I'm not here to tell you that you leave your family away. No. That's not my intent. Please give the best to your family. Please get attached to your family. But at the same time, look at detachment. If your family is not a supportive family, you still have to be with them. Try and give them bhakti. Try and inculcate good qualities in them. Give them Krishna consciousness. And if they don't, you continue to practice your bhakti. You don't leave it. Srila Prabhupada's wife was not very favorable. We've read this in Srila Prabhupada's Leelamrita. He did not give up his wife and just run away from the family. Yeah, he did take sannyasa at an age which is recommended to take sannyas, but not before that. So, one remains transcendental in the service of the Lord and does not get attracted or does not get attached to something. We are attached to our families, but we are detached. There's another very nice quote which is given in Chaitanya Charitamrita. This comes from Madhya Leela 22.35. Bhukti Mukti Siddha Kami Subhuddhi Anihaya Kada Bhakti Yoge Tabe Krishnera Bhajaya. Due to bad association, a living entity desires material happiness, liberation, or merging into impersonal aspects of the Lord, or he engages in mystic yoga for material power. If such a person actually becomes intelligent, he takes up to Krishna consciousness by engaging himself in intense devotional service to Lord Krishna. So Krishna consciousness as a process makes the person nishkama. And if a devotee still goes to Krishna and he's asking something, saying that give me something, he's actually udar, he's very magnanimous. Because he is asking something to give it back to Krishna, he's asking something to give it back to the public, to devotees at large. What did Srila Prabhupada say? Srila Prabhupada collected so much of money. He traveled all over the world, all over the globe, 14 times in 12 years of span. How many of us would ever try to do that? People will think, oh, it's very easy to travel by flight. And when Srila Prabhupada was in the mortal world here, it was very difficult on the flights also. Even today it is difficult. If somebody has to go from HSR layout to the airport, it takes 2.5 hours. Suppose 2.5, 3 hours minimum. It's so difficult. In that elderly age, or 70 plus, he traveled on Jaladuta just for one reason, that he wanted to give people bhakti. He traveled all over the globe 14 times in 12 years, and then he went and asked the deity, saying that give me money. And what did he do with the money? Constructed temples. In his own lifetime that he was here on the mortal world, he constructed some of those most beautiful temples. He didn't want money for himself, and that's how he said, you don't get attached to it. You may have a practical example saying that I'm earning, can I give everything to the temple? I would personally say no. You have your family responsibilities. You have your wife, your children, you have to also think of their education and all the other expenses. But at the same time, a part of your earning should be dedicated. That's your personal decision, whatever percentage that you would like to do. But I would definitely recommend that all of us should contribute something that takes you away from the attachment of that money that you've earned. It will take away the attachment from the position from where you earned the money. So start doing that. It can be anonymous. You need not tell the temple that I'm going to give, or tell the sadhan that I'm going to, kind of give so much of money. But do it. Do seva, do it to Goshala. Give it to authorized people. There are so many other unauthorized people, so it is always better to give it to authorized people and not to get into the karma circle. So if anybody is asking for something, saying that Krishna give me money, if he is a devotee, then he is magnanimous, he is udar. Srila Prabhupada is a living example. There are other devotees who are living examples. How many of you have heard of Alfred Ford, owner of the Ford company? Amrish Prabhu. Yeah? Would you know he is constructing the world's largest temple in Sridham, Mayapur? Yeah? The temple, the way it is coming up, he also has a desire. He may be asking their lordships, saying that give me money. But then that money is plowed back into the temple. It's a beautiful temple which is coming up. I'm sure in 2027 we will all be having the live inauguration of the temple. Part of it is already inaugurated in Sridham, Mayapur. So he's magnanimous, he's udar because he's asking for some money, or he's earning money out of Ford Motor Company. Yeah. One thing that all of us have to really look at is, it is not what people want from us, but it is what the Lord wants from you. And the Lord will not speak to you directly, He will speak through His authorized people. Authorized people means gurus, sadhus. They will come and speak to you. Devotees will speak to you. So our goal is what is the goal of the sadhus or the acharyas in our parampara, which is very, very important. And the devotee is always fixated on Krishna, and he is not carried away by any interruptions. This is one thing that we have to really. There's a very nice story. I have 2 minutes. I'll speak about this story. There was this person who was sitting in a restaurant, and sipping a soft drink, and a friend of his comes there and says, "What are you doing?" He says, "Can't you see I'm sipping a soft drink?" He says, "This is not the age of sitting here and sipping soft drink. You should actually work very hard. You should put all your efforts, earn a lot of money." So he says, "Then, when you have a lot of money, you can buy a car and a bungalow. Okay, then you can even start a company of your own. Okay, then," he says, "then you can multiply the money, because when you start your own company, you'll start earning more, and then you'll have a lot of more money. You can multiply your money. Then," says, "then you'll have time all for yourself to come and sit and sip a soft drink." So he said, "That's what I'm doing now." Right? Without putting the efforts, without doing anything. So if our goal is Krishna consciousness, if I have to go back home, back to Godhead, why do I have to struggle so much? Mind you, I'm not saying that you should stop working from today. Please don't take me wrong. But when it comes to working, dedicate the time that is required to work. And out of the time, you should think of your soul. Don't think of your body then. You have to give back till the time that you are in this body. Please give back to the organization for which you are paid for. Or give back to the college that you are going, or the school that you are going, or for Mataji's, give back to the family for what you are there in the family. Be it cooking, managing the house, managing the children. But then after that, it is very important that you realize that your final goal is going back home, back to Godhead. And the devotee realizes that very well. And that's why we call the devotee to be in fullness. Because he does not have any material inclination towards us. His only goal is very simple. Constitutionally, we are all supposed to work very hard. We are all supposed to work very hard. But then become like a child. What happens to a child? You saw some children playing here. Did they have the stress saying that tomorrow I have to go to the school? No, the mothers had the stress. Yeah. Did they have the stress of paying the fees in the school? No, the father had the stress of paying the school fees. The father had the stress of going on the road in the traffic. So constitutionally, we have to all work hard, but then we have to become like small children. How does this child, whom does he depend on? Parents. And who are our parents? Why so much of stress? See the little girl. Does she have any stress? Is she not happy? Is she not peaceful? How many of us want to be peaceful? How many of us want to be happy? My hand will be probably the biggest. All of us, right? So why struggle so hard in life? Chant and be happy. Read and be happy. Preach and be happy. My Guru Maharaj is always, Sri Jayapataka Swami Guru Maharaj says this. Sri Prabhupada used to say chant and be happy, and Krishna consciousness movement we talk about it, chant and be happy. But my Guru Maharaj added this some time back, and he said, chant, preach and be happy. When you chant, you're happy yourself. When you preach others, you're making others happy, and by which you're also becoming happy. So whenever you go out from now, because devotees don't have any material desire, your only goal should be how many people can I reach out to? How many people can I talk to them about Krishna consciousness? How many people can I talk about, even if it is a single word or a single line or a single sentence or a single paragraph, to give it to people. Give it to the people who are outside. You will be peaceful, you will be happy. At the same time, your waiting list, which is already there to go back home, back to Godhead, will get going up. You will get into RSC when we travel and train. You have waiting list, you have RSC, then you have a confirmed ticket. So then we will get our confirmed ticket when you put all these efforts. So I will end my talk here. The whole background of this shloka is saying that we should become like ocean. Ocean is never disturbed. When it is sunshine or if it is rain, ocean is always calm. So a devotee is also very calm because he does not have any inclination towards material desire. He has desire, but he has no inclination towards the material desire. So, thank you very much. Think about whatever I told you today. Go back, think about it. Do that exercise which I told you. Sit quietly and think that if you are not there tomorrow. Life will go on, I'm telling you. Nobody cares. I come from healthcare and I see people just living in second in front of us. The family get disturbed for a little while. If you leave this body unfulfilled, when I say fulfilled, you go back home, back to Godhead. But if you leave your body unfulfilled, you don't know what kind of body that you're going to take. And whether next lifetime, the following lifetime, we don't know what kind of a life that you're going to get. So it is very important that charity begins at home. It is very important that you take care of yourself first, your family first. And naturally after that we have to also preach. Thank you very much for your patient hearing. Granthraj Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki Jai. I would be happy to take if there are any questions. Happy to answer them, and if you have felt that my class was a little heavy, it's important for us to take some spice sometimes. Life is not all hunky-dory. Yeah? Unless somebody comes and slaps you sometimes. I'm not trying to do that, but I'm saying we don't realize certain things in life. So I'm sorry if you have had a little heavy dose today on a Sunday evening, which is supposed to be a light day. But I thought I should make you aware of the realities of life. And whatever I've spoken is all spoken from the Shastras, and there are evidences which are there. And Acharyas have spoken, senior devotees have spoken, and that is what I have spoken today. Thank you very much.
Small clarification I want.
Yes, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Japa. Some people are institutions also doing starting with Hare Krishna. Some are doing with Hare Rama. So I want clear clarification.
Very nice question. Thank you very much. I think this is a very valid question. There are some institutions or some people who start the mantra with Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare. This is the mantra which was there for the yesteryears. When I say yesteryears, the previous yugas, where people were really qualified. But in this Kali Yuga, it is said that we should chant starting with Hare Krishna Mahamantra. It is given in the Kali Santaran Upanishad. Yeah. So that is the reason we follow the Acharyas who have given us in Kali Yuga the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, which is the Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. It is there, that's also not authorized, but that was authorized in the previous yugas, not for Kali Yuga. I hope that clarifies. Thank you. Yes, Prabhu, you had a question.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. First of all, thank you so much for your beautiful class. It was very interesting perspective for us to memorize or think through. My question is, you mentioned that we here in the classes that we came back in this world because we were jealous of Krishna. But Prabhupada also mentions in Bhagavatam that there is no jealousy in Golok Vrindavan, or if you go there once, there is no way you can come back. So really, how do we kind of correlate that statement?
Yeah, so Krishna. So in Krishna. Okay. Sorry, it's long. Thank you very much for that question, Prabhu. And I think what you mentioned was that I spoke about the jealousy or envy, in Golok Vrindavan when we were there. And that's how we have come down here. But on the contrary, Srila Prabhupada in some of the places also mentions that there is no jealousy there. It's all bhaichara there. There's absolutely no problem there. But Srila Prabhupada himself has said this. So Srila Prabhupada wouldn't contradict his own statement because he's our Acharya. At certain point of time, when we want to be independent, the envy creeps up. It creeps up. And that's the reason that we are all here. Otherwise, you wouldn't have found anybody in the material world. Yeah. So the proof of pudding is in the eating. So when you see so many people here in the material world, including me, that means there is envy in the spiritual world also, to the smallest possible. But not that everybody has it. Yeah. The population, or I can call it as population, the people there in Golok Vrindavan are much larger than what we are on the material planet here. So you can see that not everybody there has envy. Few of us did have that envy, some small iota of envy that we had, and that's the reason we are here today and struggling. I hope that answers your question. Thank you very much.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
We understand that for a bhakta, material desires are discouraged. Okay. Material desires because it distracts us from God. But what's wrong with desire of liberation? Is it not? What is wrong with it? Even in our service to God, the ultimate purpose is liberation only. So what is more important? Service to Lord?
Liberation is the ultimate. Liberation is the ultimate. Our thought of liberation is the ultimate. But how do you get liberated? It is through seva. So one is the means and the other one is means to the end. Liberation is the end. But unless you do seva here, you will not be able to get to that stage of going back home at the time of death. Even if we remember in this particular shlokas that we discussed today, it says even once, even at the end of our life, if one remembers Krishna, he will go back home. But then what happens with us is, let's take a very small example. Somebody knows when is the next Olympics? No. Okay. Sorry? 2026, right next year. So if 2026 Olympics, if somebody has to participate in the marathon, and this is sometime during August, Mataji, would you know when is it? 2026? Not sure. Okay. So let's take it as August. August 2026 is, July, August 2026 is the marathon. Can I start my practice on 30th of July 2026? Yeah? No. That's the answer. If I don't practice, I will not be able to make it. The preparation for 2026 Olympic has already started in 2018-2020. People who want to participate in 2026 have started their practice for so long, and then only they can reach the goal of even attempting to be there as 2026 Olympics. So what I'm trying to drive home point is, Prabhu, that we have to practice. If we don't practice, we will not be able to do it. So seva is the means to practice. When we do render seva, whatever seva, maybe cooking seva for the Lord, maybe today after the classes, after the program is over, winding up seva, just folding the mats, yeah, or just keeping the mic stand. These are all seva. For some of them, it may feel that it's such a small seva, it is not called seva. No, everything Krishna is noticing, everything he is noting in your records. His records are much. The supercomputers which are here are failed against it. So seva helps you getting into liberation. So seva is the means to liberation. And for us, because of our acharyas are there, I will take the example of Dhruv Maharaj or even Prahlad Maharaj. Prahlad Maharaj said, I will not want to go back unless every living entity is gone from here. We also follow in that parampara where we say, I want everybody else to get the benefit in whatever limited capacity that I may have. You may meet 10 people in a day. If you are able to give Krishna consciousness to 10 people, you need not worry about 1.4 billion population in India. Yeah? That's our means, we can do it. Yeah? So service is very important. Service makes you practice, and practice takes you to liberation. Is that okay, Ajay Prabhu? Thank you. Last question, probably. Is that okay? If there is any. Yeah. Sorry, I can take questions offline also. Maybe while the program is on, because I don't want to disturb the schedule of the southern. Please go ahead, Mataji.
Yeah, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
So as I'm a student,
Yeah, you're on.
Yeah, so I'm a student. So my exams are upcoming in the 1 week. So like I'm very confused and also in so much of confusedness, like how shall I do, how shall I prepare. So many of the negative thoughts are also there in my mind. So how shall I control that as being a student?
Very practical question. I have gone through the same thing when I was in college or school. And this I'm talking is about 40 years back. We were also confused, equally confused. Now you have more options, so you get more confused. Those days we had very few options. Yeah, you had only art, science, and commerce. And when you're doing your PG also, if you take up MBA, you had only two options, whether to marketing or finance. Now these days there are 20 options, so you get more confused. The way to look at it is you have to focus on your exams. There's absolutely no second thought about it. At the same time, what you can add to your practice on a daily basis is 10 minutes of time that you can dedicate to Krishna. I'm saying just chant one round of Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. And I'm not saying that you should go out on book distribution when your exams are happening, or you should go out on yatra when your exams are going. No. We are very practical. Krishna consciousness movement is a practical movement, and it's not for people who are emotions and this one particular word that we use. But then we are not sentimentalist. We are very practical in our life. So you should give 10 minutes of time to that. At the same time, also please focus on your studies, on your core subjects. While you're doing so, if you're getting distracted, you could also practice some form of yoga or pranayama, which can help you focus on your studies. So combine with all this, but at the same time, when you wake up, please pray to him, saying that you are awake because of him. And when you go to bed, tell him, thank you, I lived a good day today. Yeah. Everything happens because of his mercy, and we are all his children. And when you pray to father or mother, either way, they're very happy with you. So, when you go back to your father and say, thank you dad for everything that you've done for me, he'll be happy, he'll give you a hug. He'll also give you something good for you to take it, or something that you like. Likewise, when you go back to Krishna and tell him, thank you my Lord, you're my father, you're my supreme father, thank you for everything that you've done for me. And also, sometimes you should have this conversation with him. It's paid. In the sense, this conversation pays you back. Ask him a question. And Krishna is a Paramatma sitting here in the heart. When you ask him in the deity form or in the photo form, he will reply you back sitting within the heart. And you may get answers for a lot of things. Yeah? But focus on your study is very important. Don't deviate. Yeah? Yes, at the same time, add Krishna consciousness to it, and that will add fullness to it. Hope that answers your question. All the very best for your exams. Thank you. Hare Krishna. So I think we will end the session here. If there are any other questions, I'll be happy to take them separately.